Bullshit. Padded Room Radio is on the air, you maniacs. My name is Darian, and I am back with another installment of your weekly prescription of horror bullshit. Jason Harrell's in the house.
Hello, everyone.
He's not feeling too good, ladies and gentlemen, and apparently he has adopted a new Yiddish lifestyle.
Sure, Yiddish sounds fine.
Why not? Hasidic, perhaps? I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know
stuff.
any of those things.
What's up with you?
Words. Not a lot. We may have the bubonic plague in the house.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there's a very good chance of that.
How did you arrive at that conclusion? That's a stretch.
Well, we were pulling some stuff out of storage for kind of prepping for Halloween and stuff,
of course.
And mice had gotten into this like storage thing outside the house. Mm-hmm. So just rat shit and piss everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Totally forgot to we're vacuuming it up. Sarah's pretty much just like standing right there at breezes of feces were blowing all around. So, may or may not have the bubonic plague.
Don't even sweat it, man. The amount of it's not rats, it's like field mice.
Yeah.
But the amount of poop and pee that I find in my garage, usually it doesn't start showing up until I find it, really, which is probably, early spring.
Yeah.
And then once you find it, it's like, all right, it's there. I got it there. Here's someone. Then you find a dead one.
Yeah.
And if you're the responsible adult that I am, you have to naturally pick it up and throw it at your son.
Or make a prop out of it.
Whatever you want to do. Maybe conduct
they look
some
good taxidermied.
Now, I've seen a movie called The Reanimator, and I've got some ideas about what we can do for this mouse.
Yeah, we've got 2 like 8-foot pumpkin tower things in the dining room right now. We're continuing to kind of put together our 31 for 31 movies for Halloween.
Okay.
Watching a lot of documentaries on like home haunting and things like that.
Nice.
So as Sarah likes to think or call it, we have the hauntavirus.
Hauntavirus.
See what she did there?
She is very punny.
She is very punny.
She is very punny. That's one of my favorite things about her. What I was thinking, and you may remember last episode, I've got a challenge for you.
All right.
If you're interested, if you can hang with this. I don't know if you can hang with
I'm taking my pants down as you speak.
Did you bring your sweatpants? So, what I was thinking, the new year here in the Padded Room is October 30th. That's when we launch the Padded Room. That's our quote-unquote birthday, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking from November 1st on this year, I myself, you can join me in this little challenge if you care to. No rewatches. New watches only.
Okay.
Can you hang?
For how long?
For the full year, except for October. October's its own separate entity.
For a full year?
Yes.
Well, I have to rewatch some movies.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you do not.
You
do not.
No, I will be more than happy to sprinkle in copious amounts of fresh material, but there's no way that I could give up repeat watches.
It's a hard challenge.
Because I don't watch a lot of live like TV or any of that stuff.
Yeah, no.
So it's easy to just put on fill in the blank, movie for the 30th time.
Yeah, I mean obviously, but what I'm going to try to do is watch, because that's one of my biggest problems. Is that I fall in love with these movies. I watch them 350 times.
Yeah.
In the meantime, 600 new movies have come out that I've completely skipped because I can't not watch The Fog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I need to get caught up. I need to find the diamonds in the rough. So
I get you.
So I'm going to try and go a full year, no rewatches.
I will do my best.
Okay. Don't do your best. Do my best.
Well, that's a pretty low bar there.
It is. We'll be done by November 3rd, probably.
So what's up with you, man?
Not much, dude. Just hanging, working a lot. The usual
no
shit.
bubonic plague?
No bubonic. I don't care.
Okay.
To be honest with you, if I die of bubonic plague, is that where you shit yourself to death?
I have no idea.
As far as I'm concerned, I did something right.
Don't you pretty much shit yourself to death already?
Well, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., it's kind of touch and go,
okay,
as they say.
He lived to tell another tale.
By 11:30, if I'm not, speeding on the highway to get home and change pants, I'm pretty much good for the day.
You're good.
All right, goddammit. We got horror news and listener mail and all kinds of stuff, and possibly the bubonic plague. Let's start things off, Jason Harrell, with a little of the old horror news.
Horror news.
Yes, sir. What do you got for us?
Trailer for Pearl, the X prequel, has dropped.
Seen it.
Didn't watch it. Was going to, but then I always have Sarah check trailers, to make an assessment since I generally don't watch them. But since they had like a teaser reel at the end of the credits of X, I figured I was safe. But she said there was enough kind of twists on this trailer that maybe I should just hold off.
So I watched it. Let me ask you, what do you remember from the teaser at the end of X?
Oh, very little. I just remember her being,
younger, obviously.
Yeah, Mia Goth looking like Mia Goth,
Circa 1920-ish,
right.
Yeah.
Looked like a farm-type setting. I believe, a couple of kills, maybe, some bloodshed, but I don't remember anything, horny or anything like that.
Oh, there's going to be some horny. I'm not going to ruin it for you.
Given that that's, kind of the crux of X.
Yeah.
And kind of the whole plot line, I didn't remember there being much of that sprinkled into that teaser.
Here's my concern, and take this for what it's worth. I don't mind a prequel. You've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the prequel to that? I think it's called Texas Chainsaw Begins or something like that.
I've seen everything. Yeah, I believe I've seen every Texas Chainsaw at this point.
My problem with that, I love the remake with the Hewitt family, Arlie Emery, that whole situation. What I didn't like about the prequel to that was that I felt like they used that movie to basically explain every little detail of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Okay.
Like Arlie Emery losing his teeth, how that happened, how that old guy got put in a wheelchair and what happened to his legs.
Yeah.
I don't really, that's fine. You know what I mean? But
sure.
I kind of feel like that's where this is headed.
Okay.
Because there is, without giving anything away, there is a very distinct situation in X which is going to be touched upon in Pearl.
Okay.
And
should be out before too long, though. I don't know the tentative release date for it, but shouldn't be far off since they shot it simultaneously. I think.
Exactly. So we could probably have it maybe by this fall.
Yeah, maybe.
I love it. I'll check it out either way.
Oh, hell yeah. The only other thing was, and I'm sure this is old news to you, but I had no idea this was even out there. Evil Dead Rise?
Yeah.
I had no idea that was
you
even...
You didn't hear about that?
Well, mostly because I keep my nose out of a lot of horror news.
Sure.
But I guess it's in post-production.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was even a thing in the works.
It is a thing. And from what I understand, it's just about done and ready.
I hope so.
So
yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
There are posters out. They're very vague. Mm-hmm. And all I can tell you is that it involves some kind of a skyscraper.
All right.
So, I don't know. I would like to think that this is some kind of a continuation of the movie we're going to talk about tonight.
And from everything I saw, it is not. Because everything that spun off of the 2013 got scrapped.
Exactly.
After years of talking about it, possibly.
Yeah.
I guess they finally just canned it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Fede Alvarez has other things going on these days, and I don't know, man. I'm going to check. I'm pumped for it.
Well, you got to see it no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
It's a given.
And Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are both involved. I don't think he's reprising his role as Ash.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm going to check it out.
Cool. What do you got?
How about trailers for Halloween Ends? I know you're not a trailer guy, and you're not a big fan of this newfangled Halloween situation.
I'm just sick of them trying to convince me that Jamie Lee Curtis has the wherewithal to take down Michael Myers.
So
she's 904 years old.
She is not 904 years old, goddammit. And I don't know, man.
She's also not Rambo or MacGyver.
But she could be Sarah Connor.
Oh, come on.
Is it too late for Sarah Connor?
No, but she was just like a badass, like from Jump Street, you know, or at least like from Terminator 2. Like she was like making herself out to be that.
Sure.
Whereas with some of these recent Halloween movies, she just was that. There was no build up.
No, but
and then everything she did, like just
again,
all this great effort,
right?
But then she would do these nonsensical things like going to town. You know, she would like fortify herself. Oh, she's a recluse. Well, why is she shopping at Walmart?
She shows up at Applebee's.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I get that, but again, this is part of this weird thing that we do now, where we sandwich. We have to. Okay, here's a sequel to Friday the 13th Part 2. And we just have to pretend the rest of the franchise doesn't exist. So we have to pretend that we didn't see Jamie Lee Curtis die in Halloween Resurrection and all of that fucking nonsense.
How does the trailer look?
It looks exactly like Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
I don't... I mean, I wasn't mad at Halloween Kills.
I know you weren't.
I'm not mad at this new Halloween situation. I think I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't know. It doesn't look good.
It's just silly.
I'm not excited for it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that excited for Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
So maybe this one will surprise me.
There
also.
was a time where, new Halloween,
sure.
New Friday the 13th, new even Elm Street.
Yeah.
Like, I was jazzed. I was excited. This, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to ride it out I'll see every one of them.
Of course.
But the excitement level is just not there.
Yeah, I would agree. Here's something for you to get excited about. Are you ready?
Yep.
Children of the Corn reboot. It's going to release this fall. Started filming pre-COVID. Got shut down due to COVID, and now we have a release date of early October.
I did not get far in that series.
You don't need to. You really don't need to. You don't really...
Same thing for Hellraiser, too. I bailed out of that kind of early, too.
Once you hit part 4, and you can skip part 3 altogether, you're pretty much done. After that, it just becomes like other horseshit movies that Pinhead got shoehorned into.
Amityville Corn Maze.
Whoa! Amityville light fixture. I don't know, man. I'm not mad. I mean, Children of the Corn, watching it now, is not a good movie. A lot of that doesn't make any fucking sense. Premise is solid. If you ever read the Stephen King short story, it's not bad. It's not his best work, but it's there, you know? Conceptually, I feel like it's a good premise. And given if they could put it in the right hands, they might be able to do something actually pretty cool.
I'll check it out.
I'll check it out. What else we got here? Posters are up for that. Yeah, we knew about that. AMC's Interview with the Vampire series gets a October 2nd premiere. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the Anne Rice stuff.
Originally, I did really like the first movie. But then probably 2-3 viewings, like that burned off really quick.
It's very easy to it's very Lost Boys-esque in like its glamorization of the vampire stuff. You know what I'm saying? Once you kind of get past that and you're like looking for like, I don't know, a plot and like some characters that aren't complete douche knockers, then you're kind of going to be, all right, this is kind of stupid, actually. This feels like masturbation material for goth girls, which is fine if you're a goth girl.
Or dudes that like kind of femmy vampire dudes.
Or gay dudes,
yeah,
too.
Because there's a lot of dude on dude
stuff.
vampire action.
Yes, and there is that. I might check it out. I might just see what's going on with it.
Sure.
It can't be... There's definitely worse stuff out there.
I did see some of the advertisement for like the pilot or something.
Yeah?
And, it didn't look terrible.
No. Worth checking out.
If that's praise, it didn't look terrible.
It looked like complete...
I wasn't mad at it.
Look, man, AMC is rapidly running out of Living Dead shit.
Thank goodness.
Walking Dead fucking mythos.
Sarah just watched like a trailer or something for the final season of The Walking Dead.
The Daryl Dixon situation, yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's still the same shit. It's just like, these guys against these guys, and like the zombies just kind of take a back seat.
Yeah, depressing.
Yeah,
depressing
that is
as fuck
depressing.
all. No, man, I'm out. I've been out for quite a while.
Me too.
That's all we got on the horror news, you maniacs. It's time for some listener mail.
Listener mail.
Yes, sir, Jason. How about we start things off all the way over in Sydney, Australia. Here comes your new gay boyfriend, Tim.
G'day, mate.
Subject line, yay!
How many A's were in that?
Just one.
Oh.
I overemphasized. Hey guys, how's things this week? Hope everyone's nice and healthy. On the Terror Dome, I'm taking the zombies on this. Don't see the hunters having a chance in hell. I get that. Nobody likes human traffickers, Tim. Funny that, isn't it? You would think that they would get some love. I am on the wrong page. Look at that. This is a brand new pen, and I am making a complete ass.
Please stand by, experiencing technical difficulties with an ink pen.
Come on, man. Bullshit.
Epic fail.
I'm going to have some editing to do this week. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. All right. Hunter's having a chance in hell. On that note, it was really shocking, but at the same time really nice to see the Sawyer family win. Darian, are you wrong turn? Yes, I am. Excited to hear your thoughts on Evil Dead from 2013. Much like Jason, I prefer this one to the originals. I guess this is why he and I are best friends.
BFFs.
BFFs. Love you. Speak next time. Tim. Thanks for writing in, Tim. Beautiful. I love it. Well, we'll get into that. I don't want to burst my cork, my Evil Dead cork on this one just yet. Let's get out to the open road. Here comes Freddie.
Hey.
Subject line, votes. Hey, folks, quick note while I grab some lunch. Terror Dome vote. I'm going with the Elite Hunting Company. They have weapons and would probably have fun killing zombies.
They have cooler tattoos.
I put some serious thought into getting that tattoo just to show what a horror doofus
Sure.
I am. But then I very quickly realized me, you, Tim, Kat, and like 6 other people are going to understand what mysterious tattoo of a hound
Everybody
dog.
else is going to think you just have this shittiest tattoo of your pet hound dog.
A weird hound dog on my thigh. What is it with that guy? He really loved that hound dog. Killing zombies, I think. Tonight, when I shut down, I'll be watching this week's movie, Bring on the Blood. LOL. I really like how this movie is much more of a horror movie and not a comedy. Though I still enjoy all the movies. Stay safe out there. Cheers, Freddie! Right on, Freddie. 2 for the Elite Hunting Company. Why not? Why not vote for the Elite Hunting Company? How deep have you gotten into the Hostel movies?
There's only, what is it, 3? I think there's 3, right?
3, I believe. Yeah. Did you see?
So not a franchise.
I guess not.
By your standards.
But not by my standards.
Yeah, I've seen all of those. Because the third one, I believe, was in like Las Vegas.
Yeah. I think there's actually like a couple more.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If they're no good, if there are.
3's the only thing I remember. 2 and 3.
2's pretty. I like 2.
Yeah,
a lot more than anybody else did. Especially the ending. I thought the ending was gnarly.
Yeah, I like 1 and 2.
Let's get over to Jolly.
Part 1 is one of the very few movies that has ever made me actually gag.
Really?
Yep.
What part?
The Asian chick with the eyeball hanging out, and he's like trying to take it out for her. Yeah.
That's it. That fucked you up pretty good?
Yeah, it was just a little too viscous for me.
You know what's odd about that movie? It kind of pisses me off a little bit. That movie coined the phrase torture porn. Mm-hmm. If you actually sit down and watch that movie, nobody gets hurt until like almost an hour and a half in. Like only like the last 10 minutes.
It's a very slow build up.
Oh yeah, totally.
It takes a long time.
And there is a lot of boobies involved in that build up, and I am okay with that. Let's get over to jolly old England. Speaking of boobies, here comes the horror slut.
Now there's a segue, folks.
Hey, I think she's got boobies. Subject line, zombie hunting. Evening, gents. Well, I forgot to write in before my shift tonight, so this will be very short. Terradome, elite hunting company, as they have tools and weapons. Educate is easy with Wrong Turn. Hope everyone has a safe and healthy week. Kat, you are correct, Kat. I am Wrong Turn. I gave you a softball this week. Last week. This week, I'm going to turn it up on you. So get ready for that. That was it on the voicemails, Jason Harrell, or the emails, Jason Harrell. We have a voicemail here to get into.
Hey-yo, padded room. How's my favorite degenerates this week?
So far, so
I
good.
hope everyone is doing well. I just want to say Miss Monica, Buddy, Dr. Dale there.
Everybody
hey, man,
else is
hope all
falling apart.
Going well, I haven't said it in a while, but we do still think about you and hope you're feeling better.
Of course, they're not listening,
and the family is doing okay as well.
Of course.
Anyway, on to the regular Terradome.
What do you think, man?
We got the Return of the Living Dead zombies, the elite hunting. Get the fuck out of here! Give me them zombies, man.
Zombies, man.
I totally want to see them punk rock zombies run through them. I'll totally take the zombies. The educating department.
Come on, Tom Hardy.
You got me on this one.
What?
Here. Again, I don't think I've seen it, so
you have.
I'm actually feeling not feeling as bad about.
You've seen it.
You say that it's this year, and I'm like, God damn it, I should have known that.
Oh, right.
On the what are you looking at department, though, I did get to catch a couple more episodes of the We Are All Dead.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's kind of getting to where I want it to be. So I'd recommend it so far. I haven't finished it. Also, on Amazon, they had Dario Argento's Bird of a Crystal Plumage, one of his very early giallos.
Yeah.
One I haven't actually seen. I got to catch it. It's pretty good. It does not have your standard. It has your standard giallo twist, but it's not the twist that we've all seen a dozen times before.
Right.
Anyway, hope all is well. And like I said, I would recommend that one, especially if you're a Dario Argento or just a giallo guy. Hope all is well. Love you like family. Bye now.
Love you too, Tom Hardy. Thanks for calling in. I'm not a big giallo guy myself, Jason. Are you a giallo Italian dude?
I haven't really seen enough to kind of form an opinion. I've seen a couple, and it's been hit and miss so far.
They're horror films, and I guess like they kind of are their own subgenre. They fall, to me, in my opinion, more into the realm of a murder mystery because you have some disjointed killer who's out stalking usually buxom young ladies, and you're trying to figure out who it is, and there's some detective type of a dude running around. But one of my favorite things about the giallos is the titles. Because they are batshit crazy with their titles. Bird with a crystal plumage. How does that make sense? Don't torture a duckling. What the fuck does that mean? There aren't even any ducks in the movie.
Well, to be fair, you really shouldn't torture a duckling.
No. Soft underbelly of the tarantula. Huh? Whatever happened to Solange? Good question. This is weird. But they get crazy with the titles. The other bonus of watching a giallo is that they do like a lot of weird artsy-fartsy stuff with like the colors and they use that old school neon red blood.
Yeah, the blood's a little goofy for me.
It is. It doesn't look anything like blood, but at the same time, it's usually used in an artistic way against some kind of a bizarro backdrop that makes it pop out. It's usually very visually appealing, especially in the kill scenes, which usually involve big buxom bubbies that get flopped out.
Bubbies?
Bubbies. That's what my son calls boobies. He goes, but Daddy, look at the bubbies. I probably shouldn't say that. That's all we got on the listener mail, man. You got anything for Tom Hardy, Kat, Freddie, or Tim?
Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And it's time to get into a movie.
Please. Please. You have to get me out of here. Leave this book alone. You don't understand. There was something in the woods. And I think it's in here with us now.
I released something from that book. Something evil. This thing is attached to Mia's soul. We're gonna have to kill her.
You are all going to die tonight.
We're gonna get you, not another piece. Time to go to sleep.
That's right, Jason Harrell. It is Evil Dead from 2013.
It sure is.
And directed by Fede Alvarez, starring Jane Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, and Jessica Lucas. This one got 6.5 stars on IMDb, which, oddly enough, is a franchise low for Evil Dead. Now, this one is a bit polarizing as far as horror fans and Evil Dead fans go. But before we get into that, let me ask you this. Sequel or remake? What do you think?
I was of the until today. I was of the mindset that this was a reboot,
Okay.
complete reboot.
Sure.
But then I get to this statement right here that I copied and pasted.
Okay.
In November of 2018, Alvarez confirmed that the film's relationship to the original is that it continues the first one. The coincidences on events between the first film and his are not coincidence, but more like dark fate created by an evil book, which is why Ash's car is there.
Okay.
I just always considered Ash's car there at the kind of the opening scenes as just a nod.
Sure.
I just thought it was
Okay.
a
little
fan service.
Sure.
But according to him,
This was
kind of ties in directly with the first one.
Okay. See, so here's the problem. So he's saying it's a sequel to the first Evil Dead. Yeah? So we're doing that.
If that is to be taken as gospel,
Sure.
I'm still just considering it a reboot.
So, but
you're getting too deep.
I know. So here's my problem. And I've recently done a deep dive on the Evil Dead franchise. I started rewatching Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
Okay.
Anybody that's seen that show knows that the events of Army of Darkness are pretty much completely omitted from that, and thus, I guess, are supposed to not be canon to the franchise. Okay. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but if that's what the route you want to go, that's fine.
Boy, this thing's rules stick like Halloween's.
Fucking fuck me. So, I would love to see this as a sequel, and there are certain things, not a lot of things, but some things that would point to it being a sequel. Ash's car being parked around back. Certain other little things that could also be considered nods to the original, but we'll get into that as we go.
Okay.
We'll just jump right in then.
All right.
So we're going to start off with a trip through the woods. We're right back where we started, boys. We are in the woods. We got a cabin in the woods. We got 5 kids there for this time. We're doing a little different, and we're not going there to party down, as Scotty would say. This time we're actually there for a solemn vow of sobriety, I guess.
So not to step on your dick here.
Please step on my dick, Jason Harrell.
But to appreciate this movie and give it the accolades that I think it fully deserves amongst the other shite that is in this franchise.
Okay.
The movie starts out with an unknown person getting killed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I just want to point out that this movie, and why this movie is so much better, is because it is a pure horror movie.
Okay.
From the moment this movie starts out, you've got you're in the woods, you got chaos, you got people running around in the woods. Mm-hmm. You got crazy shit going on, and it's at like the minute and 15-second mark. From a minute into this movie, you're in Horrorland.
You're right.
So when she gets killed, she's possessed.
He's right, yeah. So basically, we actually start off with a young lady walking through the woods by herself, beleaguered, kind of staggering a little bit, gets knocked out by some unseen assailant, and then we come to her coming to, and she's been restrained in a basement, and we've got a weird wrong turn-esque family.
Yeah, you got some family people
weird
that are helping this girl's dad out.
Yes,
because apparently, from what's being said by the dad, she is possessed and she's killed the mother. She's now chained to this post
in the basement,
and a grandma type figure is chanting, which is in I believe it's not Gaelic but Welsh.
Wow.
So
okay, sure.
Thank you, subtitles.
Look at you. Okay.
And there's one guy in the background with like a deformed face. Apparently, that dude in real life has survived 2 plane crashes.
I was going to say he looked more like a burn victim.
Yeah.
Than it's still deformities, but yeah, he's pretty gnarly. Sorry, buddy, but I hope you get more acting work because you did well in this one.
Yes.
Basically, the young lady, I'm going to put her, 17, 18, pleading for her life. Daddy, what are you doing? Daddy, stop. And then at the last second, Daddy's dumps gasoline on her, and he's like, I'm sorry, baby, you killed Mommy, and we gotta do this. And like the crowd around him is like begging him to kill the girl to purify her soul and give her peace. And at the last, you're thinking, geez, what psychos? You fucking inbred bastards, let her go.
Yeah, because she's just behaving like a frightened daughter.
What is wrong with you? Let me out of here.
Until she gives I'll rip your fucking soul out, Daddy.
And then we see, and this is something that I feel like was kind of missing from the Evil Dead franchise, was that transformation from normal college girl to possessed maniac. What we got was just like a quick turnaround, eyes white, sunken, weird scarification. This time we actually get to see the full metamorphosis, which is pretty cool. She becomes the Deadite that we know and love. Now they have yellow eyes, which I'm okay with.
I love those.
Those eyes.
I love those eyes.
Pretty gnarly. Sunken in, and then he lights the match, and I'll rip your soul out. Boom, she goes up, and then he blows her head off with a shotgun. A boomstick, if you will. A
boomstick. And then it gives the title
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead with just this. The audio is great. The title sequence is great. Everything so far, and we're less than 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah,
it's fucking strong.
Now we are going to cut to our 5 kids at the cabin. We're going to meet these dudes and chicks. This time it's 3 chicks. The last time it was 3 chicks and 2 dudes. Also, we have David, played by Shiloh Fernandez. You recognize this guy?
No.
Dead Girl. Have you ever seen Dead Girl?
Yes, but I don't remember him.
He was one of the 2 guys.
Okay.
He was also in a few other things. Doesn't ring any bells. We have David. We have Eric, who he was in a movie called Josh Lucas Pucci, I believe, is the actor. He was in a movie called Spring. Have you seen Spring?
No.
Guy falls in love with a Lovecraftian monster.
All right.
But the Lovecraftian monster is...
He looks like a douchey Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
He does. In Spring, he's got like a shaved head and he killed the beard. But the chick that he was in love with was screaming hot. I think she was Italian or something like that. We have David. We have Eric. We have Mia, played by Jane Levy. She's become a bit of a horror staple herself. You'll recognize her from Don't Breathe. Also from Castle Rock, Season 1. She was like the weird fangirl that was following the Torrance murders. We have Mia. We also have Natalie, and we have Olivia. David, Eric, Mia, Olivia, Natalie. What's that spell? Demon.
Oh,
Look at that.
Look at there.
Look at this. I see what you did there, Fede Alvarez. So that's basically what's happening. David and Natalie are driving up to meet the rest of the gang. What we're here for, like I mentioned earlier, is a weird vow of sobriety from Mia, who is David's younger sister, played by Jane Levy. She is going to dump her meth down the well and swear in front of the trees and everybody that she's never going to do it again. Apparently this is a recurring thing for Mia. Some trauma in the past, but we'll get there in a second.
And when her brother walks over to meet her, it's been quite some time since they've seen each other. She's sitting on the Buick.
The old Buick.
He also gives her a necklace.
He does. It's that same weird magnifying glass.
Like a monocle type deal.
Thing. Very cool. I see what you're doing here. Now, if you're really paying attention, you'll notice what David is wearing and what Eric is wearing. David is wearing the Canadian tuxedo denim denim overshirt that we all know and love that Ash wore, and Eric is wearing the blue and yellow plaid button-up thing that Scotty was wearing in the first movie. And you'll notice what Mia is wearing. She's got the typical Michigan State t-shirt on, which appears in every single Evil Dead movie, usually worn by Alinda. This time it's Mia. Very cool. So from there, we're gonna kind of dig in here. Olivia is there. She is a nurse practitioner, and so is Eric. There's some friction, I would say, between Olivia, Eric, and David. So David is Mia's older brother, and he has basically ghosted them on numerous occasions because this is a recurring thing for Mia. She is constantly flushing meth down the toilet and swearing to everybody she's never going to do it again. She's OD'd a couple of times. One time she clinically died, and that's kind of traumatic. I feel bad for Natalie more than anybody.
Is that the blonde?
Yeah, she's David's girlfriend. She just kind of got roped into this.
Yeah, and that just kind of helps show how much David is kind of an absentee brother. Like, I mean, the fact that you're willing to go to, this cabin for like a detox and intervention for your sister who you haven't seen in who knows how long.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is my rando of the month girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he referred to her as rando of the month. He definitely didn't introduce her that way.
Sure.
Because he will not be having sex if he does. Anytime soon. Little backstory on these two in the cabin in general. So apparently David and Mia's parents owned the cabin. Am I getting this right?
I think that's right.
And they used it as like a vacation home. We know this because there's like a lot of teenage era like scrapbook situations, like collages on the wall in what was Mia's room. Now, I don't want to say that this is the cabin. It's very close. It's got the porch swing that we know was banging against the wall. But if you walk in and you look at the layout of the place, it's just a little different. I'm not like faulting Fede Alvarez for that. I just don't think it's that cabin. Maybe
like reproduced or like physically the same cabin.
Well, I know it's not physically
because the other one was
burned down.
Right.
Yeah. So, but like, if Fede Alvarez wanted to, if he got his druthers and made this what he wanted it to be, that's not the same cabin.
Sure.
And all the Evil Dead doofuses out there, myself included, would be like, actually, there's supposed to be a hole in the wall.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can't even have cohesion between its own sequels. So I'm not going to beat up Alvarez for not getting his architecture correct.
Actually, there's supposed to be a deer head on the wall. So there's that. It's fine. It's still the dilapidated cabin that we know and love. I would say this one is in much better shape than the actual cabin from Evil Dead 1. They get in there, they kind of get situated. As David makes his way around back to greet Mia, she is sitting on a Buick that is rusted out and been there for quite some time. We'll recognize it as Ash's Buick. He presents her with the necklace, the weird magnifying necklace. He's got some story about it being good luck or something.
Yeah, it's made out of like a certain type of tree, and apparently she's down for like, I don't know, gym energy and druid
chakras
stuff.
Things of that nature.
Yeah, so it's made out of like, I don't know, fucking buckhorn or some weird shit.
I believe rhino horn is in there.
Yeah, so she's like, well, I didn't think you believed in that stuff. And he says, well, you do.
Yeah, I don't,
and that's why, and
that's why
here you go.
Very thoughtful.
This is me buying your love.
Yeah, very thoughtful. And she's like, okay, dude, well, I get it. You're here now. You weren't there when I needed you, but you're here now. So just promise me you're not going to leave this time. And he's like, cross my heart. Yeah, got it. Now she does her big solemn oath and dumps the meth down the well. Interesting fan theory I thought of. What if this was all just hallucinations from drinking well water, which is now laced with meth?
I like it.
It's just a thought I had.
Yeah.
The water they drink in the cabin's got to come from somewhere.
They all just wake up the next day. Oh, man, that was great.
Did you really saw your arm off? Fuck, man. That is not cool. Anyway, so she does that. Everything's cool for now. In the meantime, withdrawals are going to start kicking in pretty hard and heavy. I'm assuming we're still in the Tennessee woods, because where else would this take place? Rain, big time. And that's something that I feel was kind of missing from the whole franchise, really. You're already in a cabin in the woods. Why not add like a nice little thunderstorm or something? Just crank up the extra atmosphere a little bit. We got it this time. It's like a torrential downpour out there. And Mia is now in full-on withdrawals. She's just basically walking circles around the cabin in the rain, freaking right out. David also brought the family dog, aptly named Grandpa. I'm not sure why.
My single complaint about this entire movie.
The dog.
The dog's name.
Yeah, what the dog's name?
It's the stupidest name for a dog. No offense to anyone out there with a dog named Grandpa.
I mean...
But it just doesn't sound right. So every time they say Grandpa, like... It breaks me away.
So, number one, 2 lines of dialogue could have fixed that. Is that really your dog? Why do you call him Grandpa? Oh, it's because...
It's just so odd.
I know. It is weird. My second complaint of that is that average lifespan of a dog, 7 to 15 years. So we have to assume, unless Grandpa was like a newborn puppy when they got him, that the entire timeline of this movie takes place within 7 to 15 years. Okay, I'm willing to forget it. I'm willing to just write that off. It seemed like when they were going up to the cabin earlier, they were like early high school. Because, we have pictures of them on the wall where they're wearing, like, 90s style stuff. So, we're already 20 years out by the time this movie is made, not when it's set. So, it's just something. I don't mean to drag you down with details. Even though I'm going to do it anyway, Jason Harold.
I like it.
So, whatever. Not only that, well, I have another complaint, but that involving Grandpa, but we're going to get to that in a second. So, she's out there pacing around, basically running hot laps around the cabin in the pouring rain, wearing a little black dress, probably freezing her tuchus off. Olivia is like, listen, these are withdrawals. This is what she does. We need to keep her here. At some point, she is going to have like a... you all right, buddy?
It's going to sneeze.
If you're going to sneeze, just do it. I'll edit it out.
It went away, damn it.
Okay.
And we know you wouldn't edit it out.
Probably not. But you will hear me make fun of you for 5 minutes. Anyway, Olivia's like, this is what she does, man. And if we're going to make this stick, this time we are going to have to keep her here. Eventually she's going to freak out. She's going to beg and plead. She has to get out of here. She can't do it here. She can't do it now. And she's going to want to leave, but we all have to get together on this and say, no, you're not leaving until until the wave breaks. Dave's a little, she's my baby sister, and if she needs a hospital, we should probably take her to a hospital or something like that. And like, no. She's going to hit you with all kinds of nonsense. You got to stand strong. We're not leaving this fucking cabin until the withdrawals go away. Okay. I guess it makes sense. I don't know anything about any of this, but that's what we're doing. So she's walking around, hot laps around the cabin, freaking right out. We got to go. I got to go. I can't. I will do this, but I can't do it here. So she goes in and she begs and pleads with Dave, and Dave's like, no, I think we're going to stay. We're going to stay this time. Yeah, let's just stay. We're going to keep you here until you'll get better, but we just got to wait this out. So you're just going to have to hang here. She's like, yeah, well, fuck you too, you motherfucker. And then she steals the keys to the car, jumps out of the cabin window, and steals one of the cars, goes tearing off through the woods. What did I forget?
At this point, the book is already discovered.
That's right.
Yeah, because while she's outside marching around,
the smell.
Shaggy
She comes in and starts complaining about the smell.
Yeah, she's bitching about the smell. How do you guys not smell this?
Grandpa starts pawing at the rug.
Yeah.
They pull the rug back, and that's where we see the cellar door.
Yeah, the floor is just coated in blood, dried blood.
That's, there was a quick line of dialogue when they first went in the cabin about, it looks like somebody broke in here or something.
Yeah.
Now's a good time to go ahead and call the cops.
Sure.
Or get the fuck out of here, or whatever. There's blood all over the floor.
Yeah, so while they're down there exploring, and there's like the dead cats are hanging from the ceiling and everything. That's when the book is found by
find it.
Shaggy. I can't remember character names.
Eric.
You know that.
Of course. You did look a little bit like Shaggy, though.
So during that time that they're discovering that, kind of bringing the book back up, that's when Mia goes outside, starts marching around.
Yeah.
Because while she's marching around is when Eric opens the book.
Now let's talk about the book. They've changed the book. We are now back from the Necronomicon, or Necronomicon Ex Mortis, back to Nocturon de Monto, which was the name of the original book. Looks different. Much heavier of a volume this time. Looks like a phone book.
My favorite version of the book.
I would agree. I think they could have put the face on there, though. I mean, that's kind of how you know.
Yeah, but it did. I mean, it's still it looked like it was bound in flesh.
It looks like a book that you should not be fucking around with.
Now, so as Eric is flipping through the book before he starts, doing his little chants and everything. Going back to the conversation point of, is this a reboot or is it a continuation of part one, like Alvarez says?
Yeah.
This could help support his own statement, because written throughout the book is, people have went in there, they're like, don't say it, don't read it, don't
burn the bitch.
Yeah, burn the bitch. There's like all of these like notes people have put in there over the course of time.
Yeah.
So if the events with Ash in part 1 had transpired throughout the years, other people have found the book, written notes, because you can't destroy it.
Right.
So, but they've put notes in there, they've bound it up, and doing what they can. So that does support Alvarez's statement.
Sure.
I still call it a reboot.
At this point, I'm torn because there's a lot of differences, but a lot of similarities. If that was the case, you would think they would make it a little bit closer to the original Not Your Aunt Tomato. Put the face on there. The original was basically just a pamphlet, right?
Yeah.
There was slim pickings there.
Yeah.
This one looks like a fucking phone book.
Yeah.
Wrapped in barbed wire.
It is a tome.
A tome, if you will. a grimoire, if I may. What we're missing, though, is the spine shank, and that was never mentioned.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Maybe that was supposed to come down the road. Anyway, they get it up there. It's kind of an unwritten rule in horror movies that you have to fuck with it. Whatever it is.
For sure.
If it's a flying sphere,
as stated in Cabin in the Woods,
you have to fuck around with it.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happens here. Eric gets curious while Mia's out running hot laps around
just
the
can't
thing.
leave well enough alone.
It says don't read the book. Put this fucking book down. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. He's flipping through it. It's got some pretty cool illustrations.
It does.
A lot of references to a hymn. It's going to set him free. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to where that would have gone. If we would have... Was that Grimace from Evil Dead 2 that kicks the cabin door in?
To fast forward, it's the entity that rises up.
Right, that kind of assumes evil Mia.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
Well, I would have liked to have known more about him.
Sure.
And how he fit into this whole thing. Anyway, he says the words, dude.
Of course.
You can't fucking do that. While he's fucking around with the book, Mia steals a car, goes hauling ass through the woods. Has a general freak out behind the wheel in the pouring rain, ends up careening off the road into a pond. Crashes the car. That car is now fully out of commission. Swims out of the pond with her book, or her purse. And this is where Eric catches up to her back at the cabin, reading the words. Conda, Aristides or something like that. I don't remember. It's the same words that were read by Professor Nobi in the original. That awakens it. It pops up, and we get the tree rape, but it's a lot less romantic this time around.
Not very sensual.
Not sensual at all.
Yeah, the vines are not big on passion.
No nipple caressing. No, up and down. No, hey, how are you? No conversation.
Come here often.
Hey, penny for your thoughts. They just spread they actually don't even lay her down. They just kind of suspend her, spread her legs around the leg and right up into the hooey. And we get like a shocked, panic look from Mia, and then quick flash, freaking out. We get to see like another Mia pop up for a second. Very scary. She's got the full dead-eyed look about her. And then Mia wakes up, and David and Eric and everybody are running around trying to find her. They get her back to the cabin. Hey, what happened? Now she has gone full-on crazy. She's like huddled in the corner of her room. She's doing the light on, light off fatal attraction move, which is that's never a good sign.
Yeah, and they're just chalking it up to going
Withdrawals.
through DTs.
Yeah, totally. They're like, hey, they're trying to like sedate her. And
which I think is a really good way to carry the story.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
And it continues to, give you a very logical reason why they're not taking her seriously.
I mean, it's not as ham-fisted as shouting out cards during a weird ESP thing. So we have that going for us, but she is clearly cuckoo bananas. Mm-hmm. David goes in there once Olivia leaves, and he's like, hey, sweetie, I know this is going to be hard, but we're all here for you. And she's like, there is something in the fucking woods, and I think it's in here with us now. And he's like, okay, you just calm your ass down, and I'll get back with you later. And then he leaves, and they have kind of like a communal powwow out in the living room while Mia is still in the bedroom. And they're like, should we get her to a hospital? This is kind of fucked up, man. I don't know what's going on. And then Mia just comes out with the shotgun and shoots David right square in the shoulder. And then goes into our Sam Raimi, you're all going to die tonight, we are dead, and what's it going to be again, and all that shit. Actually, it's a bit understated this time. I think she just says, you're all going to die tonight, and then collapses.
Yeah.
From there, it's showtime. Jason Harrell, it's Deadite time.
It is.
She gets up. She is going to be assuming the role of Cheryl in this one, for the most part. She gets up. She's Deadite number 1, starts putting a pretty good ass kicking on everybody in the cabin. Eric, all 125 pounds of him, manages to throw her into the basement, and we get it chained up and locked up, and we're secure for the moment. So we take a deep breath, and this is where I think this is probably the only comedic element, but there is one here. Okay. I felt, and it's the funny. Well, I thought it was funny shit that Mia is yelling at everybody from the basement.
Right.
Come down here, pretty boy. Let me suck your cock.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. What else did she say? When the girlfriend gets thrown down there, she's like, you dirty little cunt, get over here.
Yeah.
It's funny because Mia is a very, not mousy kind of a character, but when the demon voice comes out of her, it's like a vulgar truck driver all of a sudden. And he's just spewing the most disgusting stuff he can think of.
Now, Olivia is the first to turn.
Yes.
How I forget at what point
this is kind of interesting. And this,
she get bitten?
No. This presents a bit of a loophole because, well, kinda. So as they're having this powwow, they're like, Jesus fuck, man, what the hell is wrong with her? I don't know. Maybe it's the withdrawals or something. Look at her eyes. What's wrong with her eyes? So they come to the conclusion that we're going to have to sedate her. As soon as they've got this raging storm outside, as soon as the storm kind of clears up, they'll take her to an actual hospital. Olivia goes running in to grab her nurse's bag or whatever, grabs a syringe, fills it up with something or other, as if I'm going to go down there and trank her. And then as she's heading back out of the bedroom, she stops.
Right.
The book and this part is actually pretty cool because this kind of opens up a whole new supernatural element to the cabin itself. Because if you remember right, while she's getting the syringe ready, she's there in front of in the bathroom. The medicine cabinet closes, and you see the reflection of her with her face ripped open.
Yeah.
Once that happens, she looks back. The Nocturon Demana opens to a page where you basically see somebody, like an illustration of somebody who has cut their own face off and is holding it up. Mm-hmm. So there's a little foreshadowing there, but once she just turns, it just kind of, boom, stops. And then she drops the syringe, and then everybody's like, what happened to Olivia? Eric goes in there to try to figure out what's going on. She's now huddled in the bathtub, sawing away at her own face.
God, I'm just really trying to remember if she got injured at all before she went in there. Because everybody else that turns, it comes from a bite or something like that.
During the initial struggle, Mia jumped on her and vomited like
that's what it was. Puked in her mouth,
blood all over her face.
And also want to mention to anybody that doesn't know, this movie has no CGI in it at all.
None. It's all practical.
All practical effects. And they pull off some miraculous things in this movie.
It's only going to get worse from here as far as like the blood and the guts and the carnage. So that's pretty. She is now like sawing off her own face. Eric goes in there and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she just jumps. She looks back at him. She's got the full deadite stare. Half of her face is off, and she just attacks him with a hypodermic needle, stabbing him 352 times in the face.
Yeah, shanked him in the gut with glass, and then starts just
and really
jamming that needle home.
To him. He like gets a hand up and like gets stabbed in the hand a couple of times. That's pretty gnarly, man. Somehow he survives. David comes in to help at the last second, and I think he takes a piece of the toilet. If I remember right,
because she had smacked him backwards. He fell on the toilet. It broke a piece of the toilet.
Yeah.
So then he picks up the piece of the toilet lid. It just starts stoving her head in,
brain in completely.
Yeah.
That's when David comes in. He's like, what the fuck happened here? She tried to kill me. And, Eric is quite riddled with holes at this point.
Yeah, he is.
So he's like, oh, shit. Drag him outside. Try to get him patched up. Now, that's pretty gnarly. We get Eric kind of put back together. But Eric, if you haven't figured it out, is playing a much pussified... Well, Scotty was a pretty big pussy, too. But Eric is quite the pussy. Despite the fact that he did manage to cave Olivia's head in with the toilet. But he's the one that takes the real beating here.
Oh, yeah.
And much like Scotty from the original, you almost wish he would just die just to end his goddamn suffering. They get him to bed. Everything's cool for a second. While David is like situating Eric and getting him patched up, the goddamn basement door flies open. And Natalie, who is probably the closest thing to like an innocent bystander in this, just happens to walk by and she sees Mia sitting at the bottom of the stairs crying, why did you lock me in here? I'm just trying to kick my habit. Oh, God. So Natalie just goes and she's like, well, you kind of attacked Olivia and threw up all over her face. I don't know if you remember that part. And then as she's down there, and this is when Mia gets all vulgar with it, she's like, you dirty little cunt, and then she bites her hand. Natalie manages to scramble back out and slam the door.
How about that razor blade scene?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
She bifurcates her own tongue with a box cutter.
Woo, daddy. That
so great.
Is something. Natalie gets out, and she is like, oh, fuck. In the struggle, she got bit in the hand. Right about the same place that Ash got bit in the hand by Linda's severed head in Evil Dead 2. And much like Ash, that whatever it was is now like infecting her whole arm. And her hand is now moving and like kind of spazzing, not really trying to attack her. She doesn't go into the full self beat down that Ash did.
Yeah.
But it's kind of twitching and, it's kind of freaky. She's like sitting in the kitchen trying to figure out what to do with her hand. Mia's head pops out of the basement and she's like, don't cut it off. Don't cut it off. Don't cut it off. So Natalie's like, well, clearly I got to cut this fucking hand off. So she, instead of just cutting the hand off, she cuts it off like at the bicep.
Yeah.
Which is the infection or whatever it was spreading pretty quick and it was gross. So she cuts it off at the bicep. David and Eric are having their own conversation. Eric is trying to burn the book. It's not burning. It doesn't burn. It never burns. So he's like, what the fuck do we do now? This is when the power goes out. Shit! They take a flashlight, they go out there, and that's where they find Natalie, whose arm is now just like dangling by some sinew. And just she's like, I was infected, but I think I got it.
I feel better now.
I'm good. And then it just snaps off and hits the floor.
Yeah.
Oh! What's worse is that she uses a turkey carver.
Yeah, an electric knife.
Yeah. That would probably, in all actuality, that would probably take like 45 minutes to cut through.
And they had foreshadowed that like early on. Yeah. She was cutting up a piece of about Natalie bicep thickness of roast or something.
It was pretty gnarly. She's like, I think I got it. And then she just kind of collapses for a second. David's like, well, fuck this. I'm going to have to go maybe get the lights back on somehow. I don't know what I'm doing. Mia is still talking shit to him the whole time. Come down here, pretty boy. Let me suck your cock. With her disgusting split tongue now, man. That's gross. Natalie comes back. She becomes a full-on Deadite and comes out with a nail gun. But before she does that, she puts a couple rounds into her own face.
Well, you need to.
Just to, I guess, figure out how the nail gun works.
How's this go? Yeah.
Or something like that. Big struggle again. Poor fucking Eric gets he gets his own hand nailed to his chest. Yeah. Eventually, unfortunately, David has to shoot Natalie's other hand off to prevent her from nailing Eric's face. So, and then she snaps back into, oh, what did you do? You shot my hand off. What happened to my other hand? And she kind of comes back into humanity for a second, just long enough for her to die. in David's arms.
She did say, "Why does my face hurt?"
Yeah. You got like three 12-gauge brads stuck in your face, babe. That really sucks. She's now out of the equation. While that's going on, Eric goes back to trying to figure out the Necronomicon. So he is reading and he figures out that there's a couple of ways to get rid of the evil. Dismemberment is the easiest. Burying them alive is another option, or immolation, lighting them on fire. Either way, whoever's possessed has got to die. It's just a matter of whether or not we want to kill them with the demon or without the demon. So he's like, well, what the fuck? He's like, dude, you got to kill Mia. She's the one. She's the one doing all the damage. She's the one. She was like the conduit that it was my fault for reading the fucking book to begin with. It said clearly not to right at the front, but I did it anyway.
Oopsie daisy.
And I even had to do like a weird pencil rub on it to get the words, which I probably shouldn't have done.
I really went out of my way to not read this thing.
Really fuck up everybody's weekend. I put some effort in. He's like, dude, you got to kill her, man. I'm sorry. That's the only way. So Dave's like, well, I don't want to fucking do that. She's my sister, man. And he's like, that's the only way. You got to save the world, bro. As that conversation is happening, a lightning bolt strikes a tree outside. And this is the quote-unquote tool shed moment. David sees in the illumination of the burning tree the tool shed, so he goes out there, pulls the curtain back, and for a second looks at the chainsaw. Just a second, though. Then he looks up and he sees one of those remote car chargers, some jumper cables, some random wire, and instead of the montage of Linda being chained up and dismembered, we get David building a kind of DIY defibrillator in a weird way.
Now, he had used the chainsaw. So I watched the director's or the unedited version and the regular version.
Okay.
So I may be talking about something that wasn't even in, because I can't remember the differences.
Right.
But he did chainsaw his girlfriend. What was her name again?
Natalie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He wraps her up in a bag and then dismembers her while in a bag.
Oh, wow.
It's completely pointless because blood's going everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
So that wasn't in...
I don't recall that in the version that I watched.
Yeah, so prior to the defib thing, he did use the chainsaw at one point.
Okay, very cool. So anyway, he goes down there, big battle with Mia in the basement. Come here, let me suck your cock. Gets her upstairs, shoots her, dismembers her. No, he doesn't dismember her.
Well, so they're down in the basement. She's getting the upper hand on him, but
that's right.
Eric
comes back down
in another triumphant return.
Fuck me, this guy's basically a zombie at this point. Comes down, saves David, shoots Mia. They've got like a weird well, I guess, in the basement.
It had flooded, I think.
They have like a lot of standing water.
Yeah, a lot of standing water.
And this part was kind of shitty because Eric gets killed in the struggle, and David gives him a fond, sorry, buddy, and then just kind of sets him
sends him off in some water,
sets him afloat in the standing water with the disgusting bugs.
And he's put the needle into Mia to sedate her.
Yes, gets her upstairs. He's going to go the buried alive route. So, in a very Army of Darkness move, he gets her, restrained, digs the grave, throws her in there. She comes to at the last second and starts talking a bunch of shit to him. Tries the, I'm going to sing you our old lullaby for a moment. He just keeps burying her, puts the cross on her, and then waits for, 5-10 minutes, and then digs her up. Another lightning strike hits another tree. Very dramatic. Hits her with the defibrillator and brings her back to life. Okay, very cool. Now she's not a deadite anymore. She's like, what the fuck just happened?
So one of my complaints about the movie originally was I thought it went really kooky with the whole defib thing.
Sure.
So in listening to director commentary and actor commentary and stuff, they actually did research to make sure that this was actually a thing.
Okay.
And they found these plans that used a battery, probes, and a capacitor to store the amperage. And even in the design, you could see that big fat capacitor on there. So I was very happy about that.
Okay.
And he has the backstory that he is a mechanic.
Yes.
So it actually made sense. So I wasn't as bitter about the goofiness of the whole MacGyver defib.
Sure.
So
You know what kind of pissed me off about that scene?
what?
The red dress.
I guess there is a scene.
Why are we...
I don't know.
I
guess that it is. They mentioned it in commentary how there's a photo where I think you see the mom in that dress.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a little something. I just kind of found it weird that you would...
It's a little incestuous.
A little bit. We're going to get naked now? Is
But
that
hey,
what
I'm
we're
from
doing?
the South. Incest is best.
I know you are, buddy. I'm not I don't mean to appropriate.
Nothing says loving like loving from a cousin.
Oh, how about a weird strung out sister? Anyway, he puts her in a red dress, buries her. She talks a bunch of shit, digs her up, hits her with a defibrillator. She comes back, and she's like, hey, it's me. What the fuck is going on? He's like, you know what? Get my keys. We're going to get the fuck out of here. I'll drive right across that goddamn river. I don't care. Goes inside to get his keys. Eric is now...
Damn Eric.
Is now full-on deadite. Big struggle with Eric. If I remember right, he turns the stove on. He basically blows up the cabin with himself and Eric.
Eric jams the wire cutters that he used to cut open the book into his neck.
That's right.
Then when he's getting ready to check out, he shoots the gas tank of gasoline, makes it explode.
Blows up the whole cabin. Eric and David are both out of the equation now, just leaving Mia. And this is when him or whoever, whatever it is, pops out of the ground. This thing has been assuming the identity or shape of Mia herself. So Deadite Mia comes out of the ground and now has to fight regular Mia. And Mia is now our hero. Big struggle. Chainsaw comes into play. Real Mia tries to hide under the Jeep. But evil Mia pushes the Jeep over on her. Her arm gets caught under it. She has to basically just snap her own hand off to get out of there.
Nice meaty fleshy tears.
It's not a clean break.
No,
Jason.
not clean at all.
Not at all. In the end, evil Mia catches a chainsaw to the face, and that's pretty much there's a blood rain going on, which I thought was pretty cool. And that's pretty much the end of your movie. There's a post-credit scene of Bruce Campbell saying groovy, and that's pretty much it. What did you think of Evil Dead from 2013, Jason?
Loved it. Loved it to the point where I took my rating of 8 out of 10 and bumped it up to a 9.
What was your favorite part?
Golly. Man, I just enjoy I love the audio of this movie. I love the siren that they use as during a lot of the sequences and stuff. I like just how visceral each injury and wound and cut and gash. I love how everything is. It starts out balls deep into horror territory and just goes nonstop to the end of the movie. The entire thing is my favorite part. I love everything about this. I do have one other nitpick.
Okay.
So in the book, apparently it says that...
There's a book? Oh, you mean the
Necronomicon.
Okay.
It says that it will rise. They call it by a name. I just can't remember the name. Like Harbinger or something. So it says it'll rise after it's claimed, I thought, five souls.
Right.
So that means Mia would have to be soulless in her resurrected form. She would have had to have, that had to have counted when she was dead.
Oh, I see.
But then she was brought back. But to be brought back, you would have to assume you got a soul.
Right.
That's my only nitpick, is that they're kind of counting one, but technically she's not dead now.
She got it back,
right.
So I don't know.
So
yeah.
That and the dog's name are my only two nitpicks. There was another nod with the necklace. If you noticed it, they picked it up off the floor at one point. It had the skull.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess there's a clock in there, like a grandfather clock. They actually shipped that from the U.S. That was used in the original.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. And that is all I got. I think it's phenomenal. I think this is everything that a horror movie should be. It doesn't scare me. Like other movies disturb me more.
Sure.
But I think that's all subjective. Everybody's got types of movies that horrify them more. This one doesn't horrify me in any way. But as far as a horror movie goes, this thing has got everything. Nonstop. And it's all practical.
Yeah.
No horse shit CGI. It's great.
I agree. 100%. I think this is what, if you want to call this a reboot or a remake or whatever you want to, whatever name you want to assign to this, I think it did a great job of taking the source material, giving it enough nods and winks to keep the fans happy, but at the same time, taking it in its own direction. Now, from what I read, and I don't know if this is true, this was supposed to be the start of a trilogy, which was going to link Mia and Ash together back in the Kandarian.
Yeah, they kept alluding to multiple different possibilities and plot lines and stuff, but they finally just bailed out altogether.
Yeah.
This is the only movie. So I've seen several movies more than once in theater, over the span of years. Mm-hmm. But this is the only movie I saw this in theater twice that week.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw it once, and then I'm like, I got to go at a different time when there's less people. I want it to just be me in this movie. And man, I'm telling you, this movie aesthetically is just amazing. Like, I truly, truly love. I have like a mini shrine in my office.
I know
to this movie.
I think my favorite part of this movie is the updated look of the Deadites, or the possessed people, whatever you want to call them.
I think they look great, and the colors, like you were saying, the eyes, and they use a lot of these like brown tones in the blood and stuff.
Yeah,
and the eye, like the iris and stuff.
It's got like a gritty vibe to it.
Yeah,
and I think that the atmosphere was utilized a lot better than the original. Giving it a couple of days, which is what we have here, as opposed to one night in the original. Letting that weather kick in, letting the isolation kick in, the claustrophobic elements, that fucking woods, you know what I mean? We got little, hints and connotations of it in the original, but this time we really get to explore those woods and the various weird ponds and, deadfalls and things like that out there.
I just think it has so many things going for it that the others don't. One, that it's not comedic. It's just balls out horror. But it also is logical. Like, I give it more points for logic as to, why they're there, why the seclusion, the history of the family owning it, the additional reason, like, why wouldn't they just like take her and get the hell out of Dodge?
Yeah.
Well, she's probably just she's probably losing her fucking mind making all this shit up.
Yeah.
Just because of the withdrawals.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's very sound as far as like the logic goes too.
Sure.
A lot of movies just fall out at the for the logic side of it.
We can't call the cops. They're going to send Robbie to juvie. Oh, shit. All right. I guess we'll just let Pumpkinhead eat us then. Right on.
That is an excellent example right there.
That's all there is to it, really. All right, Jason Arrow, let's take us a little break. We'll come back with some other stuff.
Let's do it.
Fire in the gates of hell. kiss. When we touch, we will kiss. No more.
Hey inmates, if you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, Jason Harrell.
We are.
We are back. All that being said, my friend, can you find another example of a good Cabin in the Woods horror movie, not counting the Friday the 13th movies?
Cabin in the Woods.
Is that really a horror movie? I don't feel like it is. Really.
It's more of a comedy based around horror tropes.
Yeah. Cabin Fever, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of comedy there too.
Only the original.
Yeah.
Oof.
That
Boy,
remake was nothing.
That remake was terrible. And I didn't think anything could be worse than, it was like 2 or 3 maybe?
The one where they're on the island?
I think one of them had Sean Astin in it.
Yes, that's the one where they
a
weird cat fight between two chicks.
Yeah, it was terrible. Although I will say that like the degloving of flesh off of like arms and stuff looked great.
Yes.
But no, not too many. I mean, nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, me neither. There's like log cabins in the wood, like these, like strangers, I guess, in a weird way, because they were out in the woods. But that was more of like a neighborhood than anything else.
Yeah.
You're right, man. I think you're right. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Are you ready to get into the Pterodome?
Yes.
Let's do it!
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in. I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. My worst dream come true.
6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Welcome to the Pterodome.
Edit this. First, last week's winners, Jason. In team's competition, we had the Return of the Living Dead Zombies versus the Elite Hunting Company. Black helicopters and SUVs encircled the Unita Medical Supply warehouse. Large men with heavy weapons opened fire, only to be swarmed and taken down by the trioxin zombies. More mercs were requested for evac, but none ever came. With a vote of 6-4, the zombies triumph over the Elite Hunting Company. Eastern Bloc thugs can be scary. I don't think they're going to eat you. And if they bite you, you're not going to turn into an Eastern Bloc thug.
Although I'd like to.
I wouldn't mind. They're very snazzy dressers.
They are. Great tattoos.
Intimidating, for sure. They don't wait in line, I bet, usually. I kind of saw that one coming. I figured that would go that way. Let's take a look at this week's matchup, shall we? We are in the Asylum Conference, round 8, as usual, inmates. Bear with me. I'm not much of a writer, but I do at least put some effort into it. War had become the natural state of things globally. In the year since the infection was loosed from the London laboratory, the world had fallen to complete chaos. The few uninfected made their way to military outposts and began launching counteroffensives against the rage-infected, attempting to take back the population centers and save other survivors. The commander of one of these expeditions had garnered an interstellar reputation as a warrior. In the heat of the summer, amidst the ruins of what was once a major city, the hunter's craft made planetfall. If the team of hunters were to engage the warrior and claim his skull as a trophy, they would have to fight their way through wave after wave of infected humans first. Team's competition, we have Predators versus the Infected. Jason Harrell, how say you?
Oh, boy.
Infected have numbers.
They do.
But they don't really think.
But Predators have precision weaponry.
True. Technology.
I'm going to go with laser sighting and weaponry.
I got to agree. I don't see how. I mean, they're pissed off. There's literally thousands of them. But if the Predators put on the cloaking thing, they're never going to know they were there. They could probably move about with impunity, right?
Plus, those big, Wolverine claws.
Blade things?
Yeah,
Ching.
just decapitate a fool.
Yeah, just cut them to shreds. I'm taking the Predators on that one also. That is your Terror Dome matchup for the weekend, mates. It's the Predators versus the Infected. Get us your votes by next week if you can. The mental health hotline is area code 775-387-0275. Or get us on the regular old email at thepaddedroom2011@hotmail.com. While you're contemplating that matchup, let us tell you what movies we got to watch this week in a little segment we like to call, What Are You Looking At?
What are you looking at?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen a movie called Jamie Marks is Dead, Jason?
Nope, never heard of it.
More of like a, all right, so you got like it's very drab, it's very depressing. You got a teenage suicide. Victim of bullying, kills himself, comes back as a ghost. Instead of going after the people that drove him to do it, he just wants a friend.
Oh.
So he just attaches himself to this random dude, and they hang out. And it gets kind of obsessive and takes like some weird gay turns a little bit. Kept me interested. Not much of a horror. I kept expecting. There is like a light horror element in the middle when another ghost gets involved. Very depressing. All the way around.
Spectral threesome, huh?
No, it's like a crazy bitch in an old farmhouse. She's more interested in lighting things on fire.
Oh.
That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a problem. I watched that, and I watched The Last Shift from 2014.
Yep.
Just picked this bad guy up on Blu-ray. You've seen it, right?
Yes.
Beautiful, dude. That's what a ghost movie should look like. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
There is some great stuff in there.
That's the chick gets a job overnight. She at a police station?
She's a police officer, and they're closing that precinct.
Right.
And as the night goes on, she comes to realize that this massacre took place in the precinct.
There we go.
And there was like a Manson family type of a situation, and they all hanged themselves. Yeah, they're in the precinct. Some of the visuals, dude. The leader of the Manson family, cut a big pentagram into his face and just comes floating down the hallway.
He has dedication.
I tell you, if you're going to go in, you got to go all in. Can't get like a little tongue tattoo or something.
No.
Some horse shit behind your ear. That's all I'm looking at, Jason. What do you got?
Watched The Innocents last night. This is a Nordic movie.
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's kind of like a more drab Brightburn.
Huh. Okay.
It's actually pretty good. Slow pace, but genuinely disturbing. There's like an animal scene in there that was kind of rough, but you really got this one kid, especially that's in there that he's got these abilities, and he's just a fucking asshole, man.
Great.
Like, and these are like really young kids, and just to kind of inherently be that much of an asshole at such a young age, but you know, in his defense, he was the product of like an abusive house and stuff like that. Yeah. He's a real fuckwad, though. But it's actually a pretty good movie if anybody can endure Norwegian subtitles.
Cool.
I say give it a watch.
Sure.
Halloween Home Haunts and Monsters Wanted, both documentaries on haunting your home.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Pick up any tips or tricks?
Yeah, lots of that shit. But a bunch of doofy basically making horse shit props out of whatever
just
duct tape and barbed wire they've got.
Yeah. For just a $2,800 trip to Home Depot, you too
can have something that looks mediocre.
Propelled coffin that shoots across the neighbor's yard.
Let's see, The Untamed and Nightmare Cinema.
What'd you think of that?
I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
So, interesting little fun fact.
Okay.
That came, what was that, about 2017, I think?
18.
So, one of the publicists of that movie put me in contact, and I got to interview all of the directors that had a vignette in that movie.
Yeah.
By and far, having watched it, I got to watch a screener, obviously, before I interviewed him. By and far, my favorite segment was David Slade's. And he was the most interesting interview also.
Which one was it?
Black and White.
God, it shows you how much I enjoyed this damn movie.
Chick takes her kid to a clinic and then all of a sudden loses her mind.
Oh yeah,
that was
pretty wild.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Visually, it was very nice.
Oh yeah,
and it looked great.
That kind of
I hated if you even want to call it that, the wraparound.
What was the wraparound?
You had Mickey Rourke as
that's right,
the collector of all of these films and stuff. It was very weak. You could tell Mickey Rourke was just collecting a paycheck.
He's just being Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
That's one of the reasons I tend to avoid anthologies.
Yeah.
There's going to be one that's okay.
I'm always hopeful.
How much horror and how much investment can you draw in 14 minutes? You know what I mean? Scary thing in the closet. Okay, fuck, kills a kid. I didn't really care for that kid, so okay. Next story. You know what I mean? But that particular vignette, the one that David Slade directed, reminded me, and I know I've told the story before, of this nightmare that I used to have about losing my mind and reality warping around me and me basically devolving into a bagman because I couldn't get my bearings about me or remember who I was or what I was doing or anything.
Yeah.
And that kind of, watching that young lady's descent into that, in the space of an hour, give or take, in her life, kind of struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
So there's that. And that one's a very offsetting kind of disjointed, almost bewildering in a way segment.
Yeah, it really feels separated from the rest of them.
Totally. The rest of them felt like episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic and a fun little ending.
Yeah, it was by far the best presented, the most artistic. Not to say it was great by any means, but it definitely resonated with me a lot more than the others. I can't even tell you the other ones.
I know Mick Garris.
I just remember Mickey Rourke. And fuck Mick Garris. I've said it a million times.
You know how hard it is to come up with something to talk to Mick Garris about for 14 minutes?
He's done nothing of value.
Mick Garris did one. The guy that did No One Lives, he did one. Having talked to Mick Garris and having him explain this to me, he basically said he wanted horror directors from around the world to come to put this together. So he did the wraparound. He did one of the dumber segments. The Japanese guy that did No One Lives.
Mick Garris was in charge of this damn thing?
Basically, yes.
Now, wasn't he also kind of in charge of Masters of Horror?
He was. That's what I ended up talking to him about more than anything.
Which is horrible.
There's like 3 good episodes of Masters of Horror.
Out of a ton.
Out of 150, I think. So, who else? Oh, the Mexican chick. She did Mexico Barbaro. Screaming hot. I met her at a convention.
Never seen it.
Very attractive.
But that's all I'm looking at.
All right, then. God damn it, Jason. Let's get into some immersion therapy.
Let's do.
I'm going to remember her name, and I'm going to kick myself in 5 minutes from now.
Immersion therapy.
You know I can't remember fucking names.
You can't remember anything most of the time. What are we? The Untamed, Jason Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
I don't remember it.
I figured that.
No.
Tentacle sex.
Yeah, tentacle porn.
With an alien kind of football-headed thing.
Oh boy. As far as a horror movie goes, it's not much of a horror movie.
No.
As far as an introductory to tentacle porn, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
2 thumbs
there.
and a penis up.
And a tentacle.
I mean, visually, the penis tentacle monster looked great.
Sure.
Very slimy.
Yeah.
Very penis riddled.
What you'd expect.
Yeah, it really knew how to seduce a hoe.
It put a dick or a tentacle or 3
everywhere
down on the young lady, and apparently a couple of young men.
Couple of dudes. Yeah, just bang them straight to death.
Apparently, if you are lacking in that department, it will crush your skull.
If anybody has any interest in watching this, just watch the first 2 minutes.
If that doesn't
hook you,
then walk away. Yeah. You're not going to like the rest. If you want to see what live action tentacle porn could look like, here's a good one for you. Be prepared for some gay stuff, because that's going to get looped in also. Some dicks. There's going to be some cocks with condoms on them. And male buttholes also.
Oh.
So there's that. I didn't know that was in there. I'm sorry. Was not expecting that. They should put a disclaimer.
I don't remember seeing a penis. I mean, other than the tentacle,
No, there was a scene where the guy was pissing all over the bathroom, and his wife ran in and grabbed his dick to keep him steady. And then there was the big dude on dude.
I didn't remember seeing a dick.
Well, you got to know where to look, Jason.
I'm sure that you were squinting your eyes with your hand on your crotch.
And let's rewind it again.
Whether it was there or whether it wasn't, you imagined it.
Well, let's just rewind it one more time. I got to make sure.
Let me get closer to the TV.
Let me just break out my magnifying glass here. It's worth a watch. It's something that I have not seen before. I will tell you that. It's not scary. You could probably beat off to this if you really wanted to put the effort into it, depending on your thoughts on octopuses and things of that nature. Check it out if you're interested in Mates. That was on Shudder. Your immersion therapy for this week is going to be Valley of the Dead from 2022, streaming on Netflix. Directed by Javier Ruiz Caldera, starring Mickey Esperabe and Aura Garrido.
Nailed it.
Something about zombies in the Spanish Civil War. Looks interesting. Check it out. We'll do the same in compare notes next week, Jason. But now, we must educate me.
Educating Miss Monica.
First, my clues from last week. I am a post-med student on my way to a job interview. God damn if I didn't get fucking diverted, I guess, off the main freeway because of a traffic accident. Had to hit up the old guy chugging the Pepto-Bismol, smashed into some college kids, and now we're all getting chased, killed, and eaten. Wrong Turn. It's clearly Wrong Turn. You've seen Wrong Turn, right?
Yeah, part 1.
How deep did you get into this? Is that the only one you saw?
That's it.
That's all you need, really, I say.
Even it wasn't really good enough to kind of reel me in.
I mean...
Now, what about this the most recent remake, I guess it was?
It's very pointed.
What do you mean?
Politically.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, well, those are my favorite.
Well, you're going to love this one then, because, I mean, you couldn't do much more than put a MAGA hat on those rednecks before you set them loose on the college kids. That's.
But do they win at the end?
Who, the rednecks?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, well, if they win, I'm in.
Probably not. You know, you can't have that. Who might I be this week, you ask? You know, I'm not on the best of terms with my sister, but I'm going to have to get it together because my dad just slipped into a coma and my mom is left alone on our family sheep ranch to run the business. We got to get there. We got to hang. We got to keep things going. Old man's going to check out any minute now. I don't want mom to be alone by herself when he does. God damn if she didn't just fucking hang herself in the weird sheep shed. And now, my sister tells me that she's just been seen floating above the entry yard area. And the lights keep going on and off, and fucking shit is getting weirder. My dead mom, by the way, is now calling the house, telling me to get the fuck out of here. I don't know what's going on. The old preacher just shows up out of nowhere, tells me a bunch of shit about my past that he's not supposed to know. What the fuck is all this about? Who might I be, inmates? Tune in next week, and I will drop some knowledge on you.
It always sounds like you're doing a parody of Jerry Seinfeld doing horror movie trivia. What is up with floating mothers?
I think next week I will do it as Jerry Seinfeld. What are you doing on my doorstep? All right, inmates, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. And closing out Evil Dead month here in the Padded Room. August is the month of Buddy. He's picked our movies for the month. I doubt he's going to show up for any of them, but we're going to do them anyway, starting with We Are What We Are next week. The original from 2010 Spanish version, not the far superior Americanization, in my opinion. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe wherever you found this show. That helps our visibility quite a bit. We do have a Patreon campaign running. November is going to be up for grabs. $5 donation gets you control of the month. Padded Room podcast travel mug, Padded Room t-shirt, and as much hardcore porn as I can shove into a box. And that's about it. Jason, you got anything else on the week?
That's it for me.
4, Buddy in Absentia, Monica in Absentia, sexy tentacle aliens that apparently swing both ways, but don't like being disappointed. Spanish zombies in the Spanish Civil War, Lovecraftian things that could be in a barn somewhere. Who knows where they came from? Vampires that operate in a very unconventional fashion. And the Padded Room podcast. I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Peace out.
How does a ghost unlock a door with a spooky?